Hello, we are live.
Yep. Hello.
You go. I will let everyone know here.
Yeah.
This is our first stream after EthCC.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, not that long, like a week and a half, something. Oh, you mean since our last stream?
Since our last stream, yeah. I mean, you did the workshop in EthCC, which is pretty cool. Everyone should check that out. But we haven't done a live stream together for a while.
Yeah, well, that was streaming. But yeah, we need to be more consistent with the streams. But EthCC was awesome. It went pretty well. If anyone wants to watch it, you can. It's on the EthCC site. You search for Rainlang in the archive, you'll find it. I did a workshop and I basically introduced Rain, talked a bit about it, and did a live demo where I wrote a strategy live in the session and deployed it. And luckily it cleared, which was crazy risky. Yeah. I was really asking for it, playing with fire, but it worked.
Yeah, I mean, live demos of any programming are always pretty risky. So, the way it goes, but it'll work. That was pretty great.
I'm just letting people know on X that we are live.
Yeah.
And to come if they want. Alpha.
Alpha. I'm backtesting.
Alpha. Yeah, like by alpha I mean like the alpha version of the app, not trading alpha.
Oh, right, yeah, the other alpha.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
well,
right.
Yeah, let's talk about backtesting. Oh, should I see if anyone's come yet? No one's here yet. That's fine. I think we just go, and it's also for the recording anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, I worked on backtesting. It's a pretty loose meaning of the term right now. Well, not loose. It's just it's the MVP of backtesting, for sure.
It doesn't really analyze. It just literally does the simulation and then just hands it to you raw. It doesn't say like your portfolio would be like up 10% or something. It just shows you actually what would have happened on the chart.
Yeah, well, what happened specifically meaning how the strat would have evaluated. So the same way that you can do Monte Carlo at the moment, where you execute the strategy however many times you want, like let's say 1,000 times, and then you can take those 1,000 stacks and you can chart them. Like it becomes basically a table with each execution, and we've set it up so you can fuzz, so you can have random values inserted into your strategy, so that you can test your strategy across like a range of different situations, I guess. In this case, instead of, you can still fuzz at the same time, we can talk about that, but you set a block range. So I'll just show what it looks like. Yeah. So you can set a range. So the range can be 2 block numbers. So I could do this, for example, and I could test between this block and this block, and you can set an interval so it will skip blocks. So in this case, these are only 1,000 apart, so I'd only get 2 data points.
Yeah, it's pretty deliberately designed to be close to the Monte Carlo stuff. It's actually almost the same, but it just, instead of generating numbers randomly, it's getting the real data and plugging all the real data into your strategy as you write it, and then that becomes the data that you can chart or whatever.
Yeah, well, it depends what your strategy is doing. If your strategy isn't using any like data from the wider chain, then it makes no difference. But if your strategy is using interfaces that query stuff outside of the context of your strategy, like oracles that are on chain, or like pool, like spot prices, or token balances or something, then that data will be as it would have been on the block. So it'll actually fork the chain. So it's like going back in time and running your strategy at a block in the past.
But even if you're not using that data in the strategy directly, for the purpose of planning, it could be good to pull it up. I mean, a really obvious one is you have some strategy that you're writing, and if you just chart that, you're going to get you're going to get something at like every block, but you're not actually going to see what the price was on the wider market. You're just going to see what your strategy is currently evaluating to, which is, I mean, if you just think about it like a really simple limit order, I can say, okay, I'm going to sell ETH at $3,500. But that's not very interesting for the purpose of like backtesting, unless you can see what the market was doing, right? So you might not set the price of the ETH that you're selling in terms of like the Uniswap price or something, but you might want to chart the Uniswap price and see, oh yeah, there it actually was at 3,510 or something. I can see where it actually like crossed over what my strategy is doing. So having the information is good, even if it's not directly used in what you actually end up calculating for the order.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and that's why the testing element right now is visual, because there's no tests. Like you can't we're not really testing for anything. We're charting, and then you're visually inspecting the chart. So you could see if you were, like you said, if you were going to buy under a certain price, you could chart that line and then chart the price and then see how many times in the past the price line dips under your threshold line. But we're not doing, this is where the limitations come in. So far, we're not doing, we're not actually executing the trades virtually. So there's no state being carried from one block to the next. We're not saying like, I had 10,000 tokens to spend and I spent them all on the first 5 transactions, and then on the 6th one I didn't have any, so there was no trade or whatever, no going back and forth, etc. So there's no you can't test, like if you were doing like a strategy that trades back and forth, you wouldn't be able to test like how much you would be up. We haven't built that yet, but we will.
No, well, it's just iterative, really. Like this is sort of the first thing that's kind of worth actually releasing and talking about, because maybe you could show it.
Yeah,
that's pretty abstract so far. So why don't you actually show it?
So this one, I'm
like real data.
Yeah,
and so this one, anyone who's tried to use the Monte Carlo stuff will appreciate that it's pretty, like it's random. So it is what it is, but this is like actual real data.
Yeah, so for example, this one, I'll do like this. So this block is a block on Flare. Let me see when it was. This block was nearly 48 hours ago. So if I run this. Oh, sorry, let's look at the strat. So the strat's really simple, just for the purposes of this. So this is the Flare subparser, which is giving me this word, the FTSO current price USD word, which is the Oracle on Flare. And I'm getting the USD price of Flare. I'm putting that on the stack. And then the other thing I'm putting on the stack is the block number. So, and then obviously this is going to run. Actually, this leave runs out. If your leave runs out, runs is 1 anyway. But say I did runs 2, then it would run it twice for every block. but I only want one. So what it's going to do is now it's going to go loop over these blocks.
Maybe you could explain why you would ever want to do that, because it doesn't really make sense why you would leave runs and backtesting at the same time. But in this case, because you haven't actually...
Well, the runs, you do runs when you're changing something between the runs. So if you're not fuzzing a value, like randomizing it between runs, then there's no point in doing multiple, because each run on each block would be identical. But if you wanted to like inject a random value, so you wanted to do each block 100 times with a random value, you could. I don't really know. I can't really think about what that would actually be for. I feel like they're probably going to be used separately, but it was easy to just, it was actually easy to have both. So you can do both.
Yeah, I mean, if you had some randomness, like we had that one was like a binomial thing, where it was like kind of randomness from the data, and you wanted to see like a range of values, and you're also comparing it to something else, you could do both at each block. You'd see, you could fuzz something that's unpredictable at the same time as charting something that you've got historical data for, and you could see how they compare. Yeah, but the point is they're not mutually exclusive. You can actually combine Monte Carlo for anything that the way that you normally do it, by leaving things unbound. And you can also combine that with the real data at the same time.
Yeah.
They're not, yeah, but it's not like you have to choose one or the other. It's just you either generate data or you fetch the data, and that's what ends up in the charts.
Exactly. So yeah, on this one anyway, I'm not doing that. And then so I've run it, and then I can see here in the chart. So I charted. I've got my chart has one mark, which is a line, and I'm going to chart the X, which is source 0, stack item 1, which there's only one source, which is calculate.io, and I've got 0, 1. So my X is block number, and my Y is 0, 0, which is this one. So my Y is the price, and my X is the block number. And then you can see here that charted out. So if I went and got the flare price, I guess for the last, what did I say, 48 hours. How do I get a 48-hour chart? Let me share. Okay, so where's 48 hours? How do I do? Oh, I do it here, don't I? So 1 day. Oh, this is impossible. I don't know how to get. There's no way to easily get 48 hours. Maybe I'll just do 7 days worth. I just want to show the chart looks the same. I'll do 1 day. So I'll find, and now I need to find a block that's 1 day ago, which is not as easy as you think. You have to sort of, you have to trial and error it. Like keep trying blocks until you get the right one.
I wonder if we could do it based on timestamps, just blocks, when we set it up.
Well, you have to fork to a block. You don't fork to a timestamp.
Yeah, but maybe we could handle that behind the scenes and do...
Oh, like match the block, the timestamp to the block?
Yeah, like somehow just hone in on the block that has the closest timestamp and then go from there. Do like a binary search or something to find the block that matches that, that's close as possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Most people are probably going to want to do a time range, actually. So the exact thing that you're doing right now is probably what people are going to want. And I feel like we could automatically do that with a bit of code.
Yeah, because this is long. I'm like literally just like trying to test.
anything that involves you opening multiple tabs and messing around and spending 5 minutes trying to find like one thing should probably just be handled in code.
Yeah. Wait, so if I need to go down. This is annoying. Okay, wait, I've nearly got it. I got it. 1 day and 6 minutes. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, I'm gonna run it. So here's the chart. Oh, my resolution needs to be way higher, so you can't really see.
Can't see your Dex, by the way. It's still on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, I was going to change it over once I get it. You have to keep it in your head. Wait, maybe I'll try to share my whole screen. 1 sec. Cool. So wait, here's the. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Yeah. Wait, how can I get this to look better? There we go.
Yeah, this is a bit higher resolution. How do people set the resolution when they're doing this?
Well, it's the interval.
Yeah.
It's just skipping. So if I skip half, if I skip half the blocks, I'll get double the data points. And obviously, then it takes longer to run.
Yeah. So that's so what's going on here is that it's literally going to the RPC that you configure in your settings, and it's going over every block and running the strategy at every block, which is really cool. But obviously, for public RPCs, if you do a long time range, that's it. That's looking better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's looking more like it. So you're going to end up with, you'll probably get rate limited on a free RPC if you do too much all at once. So at some point, if you want to do a really long range of data, or you're really frequently doing it, or you set a really small interval, I mean, like the block time on Flare is pretty fast. So if you're doing every single block, you could be looping over many, many thousands of blocks. So you can see why you get rate limited on a free RPC.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you can really see that it's the same. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is like pulling real historical price data directly from the Oracle, which is on chain. So now if you wanted to say like, I would have sold, like, what's the price? Like, let's say I would have sold at 0.02. Let me try to quickly do this. You could do this. Make your Y. I'm just going to lower the resolution again so this happens faster.
Yeah, that's pretty slow. Yeah. So now you can see I've got like the line that I would have sold at, and I can see how often I was above that line. I guess you could also do calculations, so you could do the difference. So you could do something like this was like that'd be cool.
Threshold.
Except we don't have negative numbers.
Yeah, so as long as it's positive, then I can do sub. Do I need to saturating sub?
Sat sub or saturating sub or immediately an error. That's fine for the purpose of a demo.
Is it going to error though?
Saturating sub?
No. Oh, so yeah, so this.
Yeah.
If anyone that doesn't know what a saturating sub is, it means that when you would have got a negative number, instead you just get 0, because you can't have negative numbers right now. So if you use a regular sub and the result would have been negative, then it will just error. Oh wait, so I should remove this and then make my Y 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I am actually working on negative numbers, by the way. So coming.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
So now I can see like how far above my threshold the price has been historically. So obviously what I was saying, what you really want to know is like, you want to, even if you couldn't simulate the trades, like you need some sort of like accumulator, so that say I could say at every block, how would you do it? Well, you could basically do something where you could say that a trade would have been triggered here at this price, and so I could add them up, and then divide it by the number of trades or something to figure out like the average price that I would have bought at.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty good 80-20 would just be assume that whatever you're offering actually goes through. Like just ignore
the vault balance.
Yeah, things like the vault balance and whether your counterparty has enough, etc., etc. And just say like, keeping it simple. Yeah, but even this one, you've got these spikes here, but the threshold, you could actually say not just plot them, but you could say anytime it's positive, then we could put a mark on the chart and say this is when a trade could have executed, just as like a little cross, rather than like a line. You could put like cross marks, right? Put little red X's on the chart at all the points where it should intersect.
I mean, you can do dots. So let's try. Actually, let's try it. So, so to get my regular price chart 1, 2, wait, 0, 0 is my regular chart.
Yeah.
And then if I go dot, then actually this is...
It just be 0.
Oh, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this isn't going to put it on the chart. It's going to put it...
It's going to give you a 1. Oh, yeah, it might be on the chart. So it should be if, I guess. So you go if, trading sub, then it'll be the F. Yes.
If it's 0, then it will be 0. And if it's not, it'll be the FTSO price.
Yeah, sure.
So why not? 0, 1, 2, 3. So then I can go, let's see if this works.
Dot line, is that right? Should we type?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, type dot, yeah. Oops. I think I can
put a bunch of dots on 0, but that's okay.
Fill. Let's see if this works.
We're back into the live demo territory.
Hey, that's fine. It's a live stream. There you go. I don't know why our price data's got really flat. Oh,
because it's putting the dots at 0, so it makes everything look
the scale.
Small.
The scale gets all
the scale.
Yeah. There's not really much you can do about that. There's no such thing as no data.
Filter on the. Oh, okay, so you can't have the. Maybe there should be a way to like filter things out.
The data points.
Yeah, so like if it's 0, it just doesn't show for a certain thing that you're plotting. Just say like if it's 0, don't plot it.
Yeah. I mean,
or you know what else would be cool is if you could, this is more difficult, but if you could color code the sections of the line based on the, oh, there you go. That's cool.
It's a little better.
Yeah. If you could color code the sections of the line based on some condition. So you could say like, if this was positive, it would draw the line as green, and if it was negative, it was something else. I think that's what CoinMarketCap are doing, isn't it? If you go back to that, I think they have color-coded up and down. Yeah, I see they've got green when it like crosses some threshold there.
Yeah, I mean, this should be possible with, I was talking about this, we should be able to have an area chart. Actually, an area chart, you won't need to filter out, I don't think, because an area that we're going below would just be like you would set the baseline and the top line. So when for example, this one, if the baseline was the same as this would be the red one. So if we were drawing an area chart and we had our baseline, which was a dot always at the threshold, and then we had a second one, which was the price. But if when it was above the threshold, it went back to the line, this would just not show up as anything, I don't think, or maybe like a thin red line. But you could basically two of them that were the inverse of each other, two area charts, and I think you could basically draw this. I don't know if the line itself would still be one color though, I think. But with a filter, you could do the same thing. You could have two lines and filter out the line that you don't want, like just filter, and then I think that would work. Oh yeah, I think that would work. Except we're still trying to draw a line between the two red things here. But yeah, whatever. Yeah.
That we could figure it out. It's just an idea. You basically, it'd have to be basically somehow the options, like the stroke, for example, that you've got as blue there. You have to be able to have that be the result of something in the rain lane.
Yeah. Which I mean I can do. Actually, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. We just have to decide how we want it to work, but that would be cool.
I mean, I wonder if I can do it right now. Let's just try it. I don't know if I made this work or not. I don't think I did, but let's see if I just do red or 0, 1, 2.
I don't think it'll work. It's not gonna work, is it?
If we get red dots, then I'm a genius.
I really don't think it's gonna work.
We didn't get red. We've got something.
I thought that might happen.
I feel like we've got. Wait, what is?
You know why? Because those strings, the rain laying strings, aren't UTF strings. You know what I mean? It'd be some other value.
Oh, wait, well, what's this gonna do?
I don't think it'll do what you think it's gonna do.
Because it's gonna turn this into 32 byte hex.
And yeah, it won't be. It still won't be a string. It'll be some other hex thing. All you need to do is like it's cool. Like that's cool that it works. I think all you need to do is have something that translates rainlaying strings into Rust/JavaScript strings, so that the DEX can actually understand it.
I don't think this is working though, because I'm not getting it. Nothing's changing every when I choose different things.
Yeah, maybe it's just maybe it's even the 0.4 that it's trying to. Well, that'd be really cool, because then you could do the exact same thing that you just did with the like the threshold.
I don't know what I just did.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing there. I think you're making it worse. But it'd be cool if you could use the if conditions to conditionally format the chart based on what's in there.
If conditions.
Yeah, if conditions in the rain laying going. So on that note though, like realistically, people aren't going to want they're not going to want all of this stuff, which is like formatting stuff, to be in their actual strategy that they deploy to prod and have to pay gas for. So did we get it working where you can have additional entry points for the sake of charting? Or is
No,
it
we
not
haven't
done yet?
No, we have a spec. We never done.
Oh, okay. So that would be like a pretty simple addition that I think we'll do. So basically, you can have your main strategy that's the actual strategy that goes in trades, and you want that to be like lean and mean and simple and correct and all the rest. And then you can have sort of other throwaway supporting blocks of Rainling in the bindings that are really just there for like charting and debugging and stuff like that. And you can have them alongside while you're messing around. And then when you actually deploy, they won't get included in what gets deployed. So it'll be automatically removed when you go live.
Yeah. I think we didn't decide whether it should be per scenario or whether the custom entry point is in the scenario or in the chart. Because at the moment, the chart, you pick a scenario. So this scenario is using, this chart is using the flare scenario. So the question is whether you'd have scenarios like my test scenario, and then you'd have, let's just pretend this is the test scenario. Whether you'd have like entry point test, and then you'd have test here.
Yeah, and it could like wrap calculate IO.
I'll like call it.
Yeah, call it, and then do the additional stuff afterwards, right?
Oh, so I could be like, I want to get actually all I want is this.
Yeah, that's how you had it at the start.
Yeah, so I do like FTSO price because this is, well, actually, I know I might not even have the block number because eventually this is going to be amount and price.
Oh yeah, amount price. Yeah.
Yeah. So realistically, it's going to be something like FTSO price amount price call calculate IO.
Yeah, I mean, even the FTSO price, if that was only used for charting, that'd probably also
great.
be in the test, right?
Do I do it like that? Was that wrong?
That's wrong.
Where does the
What are you trying to do?
call calculate IO?
It's just like a little apostrophe.
Like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then how do I get
But you don't need to give it an input.
Oh, where do the number of outputs go then?
That's all calculated automatically now.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's just like that, and so it'll literally get me the last three. So it'll get me.
It's basically just destructuring, like however many things you put on the left-hand side, that's how much it'll pull off when it runs.
So then I could do. Now here I could do block number, and I could do my my saturating sub, etc.
And then, but the FTSO price is like not even used by the calculate IO, so you probably wouldn't even need it to be in there.
Well, it depends how I do it, I guess, because maybe my price ends up being like a bounty type price where I do FTSO.
Oh yeah, sure.
So I want to plot this, but even though I know my trade is going to be this or whatever, I don't know.
It's just an example, yeah.
Yeah, an example, but yeah. Okay, yeah, but then basically all this gets discarded, but it still works for this. And then this is now my chart is for this. So
yeah,
it's still now it's the 0th source. Although actually, because this is calling this, I think I could actually go. I can still chart calculate IO directly just by going.
Yeah, you just go to the nested. You go to the warmth instead of the. Yeah.
So that would. So this was to get my. That would get it. So I would actually. I think I could just do this.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, if I want to do extra stuff with the results, then I need to get
Yeah. Technically, you could probably call and have 0 outputs, and it would just load it up. That probably works.
Yeah. Yeah, you can for the charting at least. But yeah, if you want to like derive anything from the stuff that you've got, you still need to put it on the stack so you can work with it here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't work right now, does it? That's what we're talking about, making work.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many little things that we can do. It's just there's so much to do. If anyone's watching this and loves what we're doing and wants a job, then hit us up because we need help.
Yeah. You too could implement these things.
Yeah. And it's not even that hard.
It's not even that hard. There's just a ton of things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm pretty happy with that as a live stream.
Yeah.
You can put a video and share it with everyone. Anyone who wants to watch it back can. Is there anything else you want to say about backtesting specifically? Because that's sort of how we sold the stream.
Not really. I mean, probably just reiterate that this is just the first iteration of it. So to move things forward, it's sort of a combination of things that need to change in the application, and the things that change in the application, you can just download a new version and they work straight away, and stuff that might need some changes to the underlying contracts. Nothing major, but if it does require a new contract, then you'll have to update your settings, or whatever, or maybe even like migrate your orders and your tokens across if you want to use a newer version of a contract, because we don't have any keys or like upgradable contracts, so we can't do that for you.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean,
yeah, I don't think the contract changes are big. It's just that there's probably are going to be some new contracts at some point.
Yeah. But if anyone's ever in doubt, they can always join the Telegram, and we're like more than happy to handhold people through whatever they need to do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to say except if people have suggestions of things that they can imagine using in practice, like if there's anything that if you watch this and you're like, oh, I've got a great idea of a strategy I could do, but I need this to work in this way, let us know, because like we'll definitely respond to that feedback, and that will help us with our prioritization.
Yeah, the earlier you mention it, the easier it is to incorporate. It's much harder to change things after they've already been coded up and shipped.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I think 2 people just joined. last minute entries. Yeah, cool. We're done now. But if you want to watch, I'll put the video up in the Telegram in like 45 minutes or so.
Great.
Cool. All right. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.